Hey y'all, hey. I got to tell y'all something. What they say, how the saying go? The pathway to hell is lined with good intentions. Let me tell y'all good intentions. Let me play my intro. Because, honey, your girl is a mess.
Black women are dope, man, and black women have so many strengths and talents, and it hurts us when we are trying to limit them in what they can and what they are able to
do. What you prefer, girl? All right, good evening, good evening, good evening. Y'all, let me tell you what my intentions were. My intentions were I stayed up, I told y'all earlier, I stayed up all night. I was getting a whole lot of work done. I was all proud of myself. I'm going to go live later. And because I have done all this work, thinking I'm getting ahead of myself. And then I said, I'm going to take me a little nap. Because I done got so much done. And then I still had a lot more to do, right? Oh, my goodness. So, you know how if it's really, really cold in the room, it makes you sleep harder. So the kids that came in, they done turned the AC on. I wake up, I don't even know like where I'm at or what planet I'm on. That's how good I slept because I had stayed up so late and stayed up like overnight getting a whole bunch of stuff done. Honey, when you need verification that you are no longer young and the spring chicken you used to be. Okay. I woke up like, oh my God, what time is it? Missed the show. So I got to watch the replay of the show. Hey, Iridescent. Hey, Learning. Man, so embarrassing. I was like, I missed everything. So I still got to watch the show tonight. But I was going to make sure I came on here in my granny robe because I am freezing. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Just because they play basketball and be at the gym, they come in here, turn on AC, don't ask nobody, and just freeze me to death. So I'm freezing. I even got a little heater on right here. I am so cold. I just cannot believe I overslept. I was knocked out. Like, wait a minute, what time is it? This is the same day. I didn't know where I was. I was so confused. I'm like, oh my God. Good intentions. All my good intentions went to hell. So we're going to get into this book though. So we are at chapter 26. Now, this is what I don't remember. Did we do chapter 26 or did we just end at 25? I think we did not do chapter 26. I did. I must have needed that rest because my body was like, no, you're not doing nothing else. Lay your ass down. I'm telling you, my body was like, absolutely not. Usually I could hop up at the drop of a dime, you know. No, none of that happens. All my good intentions went out the window. I'm so glad I had intentions of doing Our Kind of People tomorrow anyway. At least because I still have to watch it tonight. I still have some other stuff, like some accounts I have to do and stuff. I should have just did it earlier. But thinking I could take a little nap and hop back up. No. But here we are. So did y'all finish the book? Are y'all all caught up? Because we're supposed to do chapters 26 to 36. Are y'all caught up? Because, honey. So I went back over all the, over those 10 chapters earlier today, just to make sure my notes was, honey. Well, yeah, I feel like I want to get in a van and go kidnap Cha and just take her away. Lover, you finished it? Learning to Love, you finished it? Okay. You finished the whole other book? Yes. Good, good. Okay. So that means after tonight, we'll just have one more. After tonight, the next one we do will just be the finale. Because there's a lot to go over. I even got a bunch of snippets to play during the book because it's just so good. So good. Okay, so chapter 26, Cha. Here we are. So Ronald confronts and questions Cha about the $4,000 that was stolen from the Taco Bell. He asks her how does he know if she dragged in a hoodlum or buddy to rob them, right? Which I find, which is a little too close to what would appear to be the truth of what happened, right? Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, because that would be the point of this. Awesome. Then he tells her to relax, and he knows that she didn't do this, and lets her know he'll turn the tapes over to the police, the camera footage, right? So I'm like, so if he knew that she didn't do it and he already saw what happened to her, why even tease her like that? It's like, what kind of sicko is he? But then he lets her know, as he rubs his crotch, that it's possible for her to keep her job. So let's see, we have this sicko. It's part of the little speech. Ooh. Part of the speech that she said.
Another man makes me sick. This job means something to me. It gives me purpose, hope that I can be something more than what I was. I'm setting an example for my son every day when I get up and go to work. I don't even want to go back to the person I was before I got this job. Matter of fact, sir, don't pay me anything. I work my same hours and don't give me a check until I earn back all that money. Just please let me keep my job.
I thought that was so sad. Like, she was willing to keep that little piece of job just to feel like she was something. Man, that says a lot. That she just felt so good about herself working, that it was her own money and she was able to, provide for her son. And oh man, she was. And that was, and nobody could really protect her, not even her friends. Not Goldie, nothing. It was just, it was hard to even fathom, like, what could have been done to, like, save her or protect her. What could have been done? Because, God, it was just such a different, she was just so beautiful that she just attracted all this attention, and she was really naive and childlike. It's just so many things. So many things. It was just like she was just doomed from the beginning. There's nothing she could have done. Onyx was her one and only. It's just so sad. So sad. Yeah, she had the worst luck. So we're on this, chapter 27, and this is Goldie's chapter. So in this chapter, Goldie has a breakthrough with Officer Rick. She gets a whole therapy session in about 5 minutes, right? She lets out her truest pain about her parents, her grandma, and her past. And the way Rick responds with acceptance is everything. He had no conditions like, well, you can't be doing that no more. He didn't do none of that, right? It was all trust, understanding, and acceptance. I thought that was awesome. I mean, like, what a blessing after all she's been through to have somebody, like, emotionally available with that level of just emotional intelligence, and it was just awesome. I was like, shout out to Officer Rick. Ooh, we getting suggestions in the comments. Ooh, is it good? I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay. So shout out to Officer Rick for that, for being a real one. On to chapter 28, y'all. So in this chapter, crusty, dusty ass Ronald terminates Cha. stating that she misappropriated funds. Ain't that something? Then the county sent her a letter saying she made too much money and didn't report it. She realizes that it was the overtime Rick had been paying her when he thought he had a chance of getting in her pants. Not to mention, she returned each and every penny, every paycheck. She returned that money to him. See, and you see, that's really how men are, right? They cannot take rejection. We've been seeing this more and more lately in the media, especially right after those last stimulus checks we got. We saw a woman getting bit in the face because she told a so-called man no thank you to buying her a bottle of wine. And two of his deranged homeboys jumping in to assist in the assault of that woman. And then there was the man who damn near killed the whole family, kids and all, over his child's mother's stimulus check that he had absolutely no rights to, even after she offered him a portion of what he didn't deserve. Then she had to try and plead her case with the county that she did turn in the pay stubs. She did if you've ever been on public assistance before, that this was so real. How she had turned in the pay stubs, but because she didn't basically itemize, write down exactly what each pay stub was on another form, she basically doesn't qualify for assistance only because of that. And that's really how they get over on poor people. She really makes $700 in a month. And y'all act like that's somebody who needs assistance. That's poverty. To pay all the bills in an apartment and to have a child, that is so crazy. So she had to try to plead her case with the county. All because of that. She didn't actually put the amount on a separate piece of paper, but she turned in the pay stubs. Why couldn't they just transfer that information over? That is so crazy. That woman just wanted to be a bitch to her. So they cut her benefits off, and she'd have to wait 30 days to reapply for her benefits. So she has literally like $30 in food stamps until then, and no job, and no paycheck coming. I'm like, wow. And she was really happy with that Taco Bell job, just being able to provide for Amari on her own. And now she doesn't want to face her son or wake up in the morning. When I read that, my heart just broke for her. Because she's really trying, she's really trying. Right. And then we have the moment when she remembers the past and starts to doubt herself. She wavers on believing that any of the sick treatments from so many men was really her fault. And let's see. Find it.
Well, I nodded miserably. This was the time I usually came back from work with bags of burritos, tacos, nachos, and some of those cinnamon twists. It had been officially 2 weeks since I had lost my job. I thought back to the day I had lost it. The stupid choice I made. Once I walked out of Taco Bell in tears, I went to Dr. Baker for help. That day, I remember walking down the street and thinking, this shit don't make a bit of sense to me. It couldn't be what they all said about me when I was in that group home. That this was my fault. Mr. Porter was jabbing me between my legs with his finger, saying all the while, you know what you're doing looking at me like that, girl. Then he would sniff his fingers and say, smell good too. Then he would lick them. At 10, his sons holding me by my hair and shoving their penises in my mouth, their fingers wrapped around my neck and threatening to squeeze if I even thought about biting down. No matter what I did, I couldn't get that smell out of my hair, so I cut it all off. Then on other occasions, Mr. Porter was shoving his penis up my butt, making me bleed for days after
some of that.
And I could only lie on my stomach or sit on the side of my butt cheeks. He told me, you've been asking for this.
That's terrible.
Now, years later, I wanted to know what I had done to make this man I had trusted, Dr. Baker, come on to me like that. I really trusted this doctor. Then he goes and pulls this. I mean, I was making such progress with him. The sessions gave me hope that I could heal and move on with my life. find love, and provide a good home for my baby. If I could just get this stuff out of my head. And just as quickly as that hope came, it was going. But it wasn't completely gone. I had to fix this. The doctor couldn't be like the others. Maybe he was drunk or smoked a little weed that night. I mean, doctors are human. Maybe he was a jokester just testing me. Maybe, just maybe, I was reading too much into this stuff. I prayed to God that I was. I needed him. The optimism he gave me when I had sessions with him. Or maybe he was serious. He was, after all, a man. But he had to value his job. So if I checked him and let him know that I wasn't going to tolerate flirting, he'd stop, apologize, and go back to keeping it professional. Yeah, he would. I smiled. A woman has to demand respect. And if I check him one good time, he will know what the deal is.
That is so sad. So sad. And she really was even willing to put herself back in a normal position just to get the services he could provide her. And he still wasn't even at the willing to provide the service, you know. So what a sicko. Me too. Wishing she had a little bit of red in her. Oh, gosh. But at least we'll get there. So then she confronted Dr. Baker. She soon realized the mistake she made as he disregards anything that came out of her mouth and proceeds to assault her. She fights the best she can, but realizes he's just going to have his way. So she picks up the paperweight and tries to knock his already loose brain right out of its skull. Good for her. She drops the paperweight and gets the hell up out of there. So let's read 1749. And so the part I wanted to read here was like, looking back on that day, I kept asking myself, what would make me want to go back to a man who said what he said? It's easy. When you become victimized for so long, you either believe it's your fault or you hate yourself so much you want to believe it's your fault because you can't understand why God would be so cruel and keep subjecting you to pain. So if you feel it is you, if you change yourself, you can in some way change the situation. See, with Dr. Baker, I was filled with so much hope. Then that was snatched away from me. Then I found a way to give myself that hope with the job. Then it was snatched away from me. Where was I going to get it from now? That's why I went back to him. But it just made things worse. So sad. Hello, hippie. Oh, okay, good night, good night. So sad. If I can get this, why is this not? Oh, there we go. So sad. So sad. Okay, so Tina invites her to go Christmas shopping. She realizes that she has nothing for Amari's Christmas, so she tries to call Goldie, who we know is busy with Officer Rick, and of course she doesn't answer. And then she calls the last person in the world she wants to call, Red. So now we're in chapter 29, Red. So sorry ass Red then gave Cha a double dose of Spanish fly, crushed in a margarita, and weed laced with cocaine, all unbeknownst to Cha. Red wants to get put on onto Dawn's Connect rock, but he wants a threesome with her and Cha. So she lies and tells her that Goldie has done it before, which convinces Cha. But at this point, she's significantly intoxicated. She comes to screaming as Dawn tries to enter her exit and realizes that she's naked and also realizes that Red has betrayed her. She throws on her clothes and rushes out of there. Awful. Red ain't shit. At this point, it'd have been ties cut. Chapter 30, Goldie. So Goldie has returned back in town and has been blowing up Charles' phone to no avail. Right, Red ain't shit. Red ain't shit. We'll get there. She ain't shit. So she decides to go and do a visual check-in on Cha. Cha finally confesses what went down when she finds out Red lied. For the first time, we see how low Cha's morale really is. She's literally tired of life, despite having Omari. She describes her trip. She describes her trip to Goldie, and Goldie realizes what Red has done. So we have another highlight. Let's see. Wish you could just play just what you wanted to play, but
I got blowed. I fell back on the bed and started laughing. You smoked some weed, girl? She nodded. That mess had me tripping. Down for whatever. That's when my smile dropped. Red wouldn't. I shook my head, hoping Red didn't put some shit in Cha's weed just to fuck with her. Red couldn't be that fucked up. Cha would have never suspected it. She was so naive. I sighed. To tell you the truth, I did it not just to be able to do that shit, but to get my mind off of what that damn doctor did and all that other stuff. The job, I know it was rinky-dink, but it made me finally feel like I had a reason to hold my head high. When I went into the stores and bought stuff, it was money I earned. My spirit was coming back. She smiled when she said that. That doctor was giving me so...
I don't know what happened.
So much hope that I could be right. Goldie, I ain't never felt like I could be right.
That broke my heart. When she said she felt like she can never be right. Like, what? You don't see that it's those people that it isn't you, but how could she believe? Because this isn't happening to anybody else. She doesn't hear this happening to the women around her. It's just happening to her. Unsolicited. So we're starting to see like a mental, she's going through some heavy mental stuff, right? So Cha kind of moves the conversation to more, not Cha, but Goldie moves the conversation to more inspirational things, confiding that she's enrolled in college. Because of how genuine Cha is, she knows she's going to be proud of her. And it does lighten Cha's mood. My heart felt absolutely, it just breaks for Cha. It's the type of shit that kind of causes the person not to even believe in God or that there's any good in the universe, you know? Because if it wasn't for what Onyx showed her was possible and sweet little Omari, I don't know if Cha would even be in this point of the book right now. But yeah, her spirit is broken. It really is. And she's literally holding on to pieces of it. She is. And I really feel like she's holding on with all her might. But my God, with all that she's going through, come on, what do we really, I mean, how much can she take? What do we really expect? It's almost taking like superhuman strength to hold on. So chapter 31, Red. Red's jealous, grimy, conniving ass. She peeped the exchange between Goldie and Rick. So she's just being a creep and sitting outside. And she sees Goldie bring the plate of food to Rick. So she steps up on Goldie, who's at the mailbox, already knowing Cha has told her everything. So in their exchange, I'm quite shocked. I'm quite shocked at this point, like how Goldie doesn't hold the same venom for Red that she does for Dr. Baker, right? Even more so for Red because it knows the history of Cha's trauma and has only been loyal, and Cha has only been loyal and kind to Red. Like, I would have more venom for Red than even Dr. Baker because you know her. You know what she's been through. And it's like the disconnect. Like, how does Goldie not see this in Red? But she's angry at the type of anger she has for Dr. Baker. I would have that and more so for Red. I mean, I would have punched Red dead in her mouth as soon as I seen her. Like, how you think you could just walk around me after what you done did to our girl? That was crazy. So I'm really shocked at this point. Like, that, to me, the dynamic is really weird. Red can't even fight. Why don't y'all just jump her? You know? Like I said, this would be a deal breaker for me. I could not stand by and watch my friend, and a good friend at that, be taken advantage of so cruelly. So cruelly. Yeah, but my friend or not, you couldn't. I can't watch you do that to somebody else so innocent. But they do agree to avenge Cha. But for me, why stop with Dr. Baker? Go get old Taco Bell manager too. Chapter 32. In this short chapter, we found out exactly what Red did to Dr. Baker. She sets an AIDS prostitute on him. Sheesh. We don't find out why she wants Rick to. Yeah, we don't find out why she wants Ring. Did she also ask Rick to swing by and check on her apartment? So, and if I were Goldie, I need all the details before sending anyone I care about anywhere near Red. I don't understand the trust there. Why they even still trust Red at this point? I just don't get that. So now, chapter 33, Red. So now we do find out. She really tried to ruin Goldie's relationship with Rick. How pathetic. Where he read her motives to her, basically, and sidestepped her trifling ass. He shows up and she's butt naked. She says she has nothing on but a toe ring. And she really thought it was just going to be that easy. Like, she was just going to be naked and he was just going to fall into the person. You know what I'm saying? What kind of trash? So he basically sidesteps her, tells her have a good night, basically reads her whole game to her. She is the devil. I have lost all empathy for her, for Red. I'm done. Yeah. She was jealous. She was jealous of them, but she doesn't value her friendships either. I didn't understand that. Like, you don't value your friendship with them, but you're so jealous. And Rick is a good man. A very good man. Absolutely. So for me, and she knows he is, I've lost any bit of the little empathy I have for Red and her story and the way her mother treated her is gone. I have no more empathy. Now she evokes anger in me reading this book, you know? Because she's not a product of her abuse at this point. This girl, this demon, she's made choices, right? She's chosen how she defines herself as a woman and as a friend. Everything is self-serving only. She's not even loyal to herself. She's only focused on being as cruddy as she can possibly be without any regard to whomever or whatever. Yes, she didn't love her. Her mom was cruel to her, and she didn't love herself because of her mother, but she's had some example of love. Once you become an adult, you got choices to make. Yes, she's broken. Yes, she's damaged, but she made choices to violate her friends. Those are choices. You choose the type of person you are at that point. You're making a choice. That's how I feel like. Because you being abused isn't the excuse for you being an abuser. No. And she's so, oh gosh, she's just so cruddy. Like, how do you think you could continue to treat your friends so poorly and they continue to stay? But they are staying. So that's that they enable her behavior to an extent. Chapter 34, Goldie. Goldie gets robbed at gunpoint. Clearly, she's been set up by Red. She gets pistol whipped unconscious. And then to find out it was Blue. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Chapter 35, Cha. Cha is out of money and food, and her neighbor has fed Omari for the past 3 days. And then tells Cha she's sorry she can't do it no more. I didn't get that. He's just one child and you got 3 kids. He didn't make that big of a difference. You could split a meal for 3 kids between 4 kids. I thought that was weird. Like, I can see I can't feed you and your son, but I can feed your son. Like, and after she was brought all that food back and forth and how she looked out, I thought that was trash. It's like the universe is jealous of Cha at this point. Like, oh, it's crazy. So chapter 36, Red. So Red finally gets put on with Rock. Rock ain't no joke. She has a trunk full of dope that she has to drive on the freeway 20 minutes away to a hot spot at that. She's scared as hell, but it's too late. She's all in. If she fails, she heard from Rock himself say that she would lose her life. Let that be it for her. Right. I feel like she could, I don't care what meal they had. You could split a meal. If you got 3 kids and now there's a 4th, you could take that meal that you prepared for 3 children and make it stretch for 4. Period. I don't see how. That was like really weird. She could have made anything. She could have given that baby anything. Because she was bringing your kids food for months, every night from the Taco Bell. And it was all good. Like I said, so now Red she in with Rock. And then got the nerve to be shook and scared. But I thought you was about it, and now you scared to drive the car with the stuff in 20 minutes away. Yeah, he was little as hell. There was no reason why she couldn't baby. None. 2 neighbors. I mean, I've done it before, with neighbors and stuff, put our stuff together. And I've done it. I've been there. It's possible. Ain't no way. So we are finished up to 36. Let me see. Did I have any other snippets? No. Yeah, I tried to keep it short because I had to watch the show, but so yeah, she met her match with Rock. Why wasn't playing with her? He wasn't playing with her. I hope we don't. How did she escape? Just all the beat down she deserved. She escapes that every time. Maybe I guess she got all her beat downs from when she was younger from her mama. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense. Because this girl is just trash. Trash. But now she done got herself involved. She thinks she know what she's doing. But you see that where we left her at, she's still waiting to drive that car. She's still sitting in that car and ain't went nowhere. Now she's scared to death. I hope Rock scares the crap out of her. She need to be shook up. And then shook up to the point where she'll value the friends around her that always come to her rescue. All right, you guys. So we have finished there. So now I am going to catch up on Our Kind of People so I can come back tomorrow. I was thinking maybe coming a little earlier to do Our Kind of People so it's not so late at night. Like early afternoon, like Eastern Standard Time probably, or maybe, because I'll be thinking about Iridescent because you're so far away. What, you were like 3 hours behind? What is it, around 9:30 where you're at, Iridescent? I think she was 3 hours. Because it seemed like when I popped in earlier, I just wanted to see how many people would like be able to come like pop in on the live, and it was like quite a few people popped in, and that was like I think it was around lunchtime, and everybody got the notifications pretty quickly and came in 3 hours behind. Okay. So I didn't want to catch her while she was still at work, because if we go on at 1, it'll be only 9 or 10 around there. So, oh, Veronica, we all done. Oh, yeah, because I was late to the party too, honey. I overslept. I thought I had stayed up doing all. I mean, I stayed up overnight, like putting work in. So I had overslept, thinking I was calling myself taking a nap, and no, I did not. My body was like, no, lay it down. So, but I wanted to come like a little earlier and get caught up on Our Kind of People. Let's try to get an earlier time that might be a little bit more convenient than so late at night in the middle of the week. So let me think. I'm gonna tell y'all what. If I don't come do the live at 1:30, I'll definitely do a pop in at 1:30 and tell y'all what time. I'll actually still come on live and speak to y'all about what time we will do it. That way, and see if I can because I would say 5 or 6, but so many people go live around that time. I hate to be like in conflict with other people doing their little live shows and stuff like that. I try to be on the outskirts of that, but hey, I might. Yeah, girl, that show is getting good. So I got to go watch that, get caught up on that, pull some clips from it, and have that ready for tomorrow. 1:30 Eastern. That sounds like a good time. The Iridescent Bee, I know she works, because she asked me specifically to do this show, and I didn't want to, exclude her. So 1:30 at 1:30 Eastern, I'm gonna come on and let y'all know for sure. 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll either be doing it at that time or letting y'all know what time I'm doing. But I'm gonna still pop in and get some midday vibes, good wishes for the day. Maybe even find some motivational stuff, because I did find some motivational stuff today that I really liked. So we'll do that tomorrow at 1:30. So we'll definitely do the motivational stuff at 1:30, and we might go ahead and do Our Kind of People. Okay? So I'm going to go prepare for that and get some other work done. And I will see y'all tomorrow for sure at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Thanks, y'all, so much for being here. Thank you for being patient with me. I don't know what happened, but thank you so much. Thanks for coming, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Yeah, 11:30 for her. 30. Yeah. No, 10:30. 10:30. Yep. 10:30. I know she'll be at work, but I'll see. Because we can still do like 2:30 or 3:30. Do Our Kind of People, and that's probably about her lunchtime. And everybody that's on the East Coast, our days are kind of getting ready to end. We'll see. We'll call it. We'll figure it out at 1:30. And if y'all want me to come back at like 7 or something like that, we can. So we'll figure it out tomorrow. All right. See y'all later. Thanks for being here. Let's see if we can play this outro.
Black women are dope, man, and Black women have so many strengths and talents, and it hurts us when we are trying to limit them in what they can and what they are able to do.